Hey, happy hump day, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate
Morning.
everybody from Piper Academy coming on over here. Welcome. Joe, how's it going for you today, my friend?
Going good. Always a crazy day. Always, with this crypto stuff, it's always crazy. So it's going good.
Yes, we're seeing some movements in the market. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And for those coming from Piper Academy, him and OC were already talking about that. But yeah. Good stuff. I like the movement. It's what makes it exciting. It's probably for you too, because I mean, you're a trader, right? I mean,
yeah, never a boring moment. And then when it is boring, then that's when we got to get back to the books, back to the videos, back to our notes, just to refresh. But
yeah, facts. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to give a shout out to the chat in a minute. Listen, we got a few things to go over today. We're going to talk a little bit of Bitcoin news before Joe gets into the Bitcoin chart. We're going to talk about the Genius Act. We're going to take a quick look at an article about that. Again, links to everything except one thing, I'll throw it in the chat, is in the description. Go ahead and check it all out on your own. We're also going to talk a little bit about Tron and Tron going public, and Coinbase and so on. So sit tight and we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go give the chat a shout out, though. Let's see here who we got. Jesse, first one in the house. Uncle Jesse emojis in the chat. Appreciate you being here. Tech Man. All right, man. Tech Man is in the house. Dylan. Appreciate you being here, Dylan. As always, yes. What Jesse just said. Smash that like. Smash it up. Army Piper in the house. Piper, thank you for directing everybody over here. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. And of course, how can we forget? Alexandra G, Mod Queen Extraordinaire. Again, if you're a channel member, Mod Queen emojis in the chat, please. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dylan. Much appreciated. Look at this. I love all the love in this chat right now. I love it. It's great. Yes, Mod Queen emojis. Yes, appreciate it. All right, Joe, what do you think? I say we kick it off and get to talking.
let's do it.
All right. So, Bitcoin news, like we usually do before the chart. A couple of articles, couple of things. So, you probably already saw this, but Thailand approves to eliminate taxes. And now it says Bitcoin, but it's crypto here, after people HODL for 5 years. Now, okay, 5 years can be a long time. If you're a trader, obviously, that doesn't really help you too much. But if you are going to do a long-term HODL because, again, maybe you're leaving it to family, kids, grandkids, whatever, I think this is, if nothing else, it's a step in the right direction, Joe. What do you think, right?
I was just going to say it's a step in the right direction. Anytime we can eliminate taxes, any words that follow that first part of the sentence cannot be bad. Anything, give up your first kid, save taxes. Here you go. Like taxes are really what takes us, just strip us apart. So
yeah, no, facts. And again, especially here, it's the capital gains is what gives it, makes it difficult to use crypto because you're getting whacked with taxes all the way around. So again, move in the right direction, and they're not the only country moving in the right direction. Here we go. Brazil looking to basically eliminate capital gains. Again, it says on Bitcoin, but on crypto as well. I mean, again, like Joe just said, a move in the right direction. And we're seeing more and more of this. I try to point every time I see something like this. I know it's not US centric and that kind of thing, but every time I see this out there, I try to make sure that we talk about it because, again, it just shows the adoption, in my opinion.
Right.
Just shows it. All right. One more piece. Actually, I lied. 2 more pieces of Bitcoin related news. Now, Joe, we talk all the time about like solo miners, right? And we love touting it out there when they hit a block, a solo miner hits a block. But I mean, it's like anything else. You're looking for, the biggest bang for your buck. So you're trying to save a buck here, save a buck there. Well, warning goes out here. And I'm going to read through this. AliExpress warning. These cheap Chinese BitX clones pose a risk, and they family and home. But yes, if they're going to catch fire, that's a risk. I don't care where you got it. And as he puts here, a few dollars in savings isn't worth your family safety and your home potentially burning to the ground. And obviously he's showing one he must have purchased. He had to test it out, which, I mean, makes sense, right? Test out the competition. And yeah, that is dangerous. I mean, personally, I see that as a risk with any miner, but like if you are having subpar quality with what you're putting together, man, why risk it? Spend the extra. Hell, I think they even got a sale. Don't quote me on this, folks. Go check it out. I think I shared it on my X, but I'm pretty sure they got a sale going on right now with one of the bid axes. It's down to like, I want to say 70 or $80.
Oh wow.
How can you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
How can you go wrong with that? And you're getting it right from the literal manufacturer.
The source, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is just the way to go. Just the way to go. All right. One more piece. And now, again, unless you're in Switzerland, I get it. Maybe this is like, so what? But I thought it was kind of cool because I'm actually going to be using trains pretty soon. So I was like, man, this is kind of cool. In Switzerland, you can buy Bitcoin with cash at train stations. That's awesome. That is awesome to me. I don't know. Why not? Right? Why not? Again, we've talked about it before, Joe. I mean, Bitcoin ATMs increasing everywhere, not just here in the US, but in the US. I've talked about a couple of places that are like, were rural to where I was traveling, and like big signs out there, Bitcoin ATM. It's like, what? Here?
I remember many years ago, I saw a Bitcoin ATM and I was like, oh, wow, that's so cool. That it's in front of people's faces, so.
Yep. Exactly. All right, Joe, if you're ready, I'll turn the show over to you and we can let you take up that Bitcoin chart. You ready?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. You're the man. Go for it.
Right. Here we go. So it's Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. We were updating the group last night saying that the price, well, we updated twice last night, when it was here and then when it was here. But we're basically saying that the price, may come up. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it may come up to around this level, 382, before potentially coming down. And eventually, you're breaking the level. So this is why I always teach level by level, because if it breaks this, well, then we're going up. If it comes down and breaks this, well, then we're going down. And we'll do this until we get enough ups or enough downs to create a direction. This is like the most simplistic way you can do it, because price cannot come up here and break this high unless it breaks this first. I mean, it just makes sense. So this is how I trade, and this is how I teach, this is how I mentor. But price did come up here to right around 105.447. It did retrace. Right now, it looks like it's possibly doing a higher low, which I do think that we might break above this 105.4 area to potentially go up. Now, right now, and I mentioned this to my group earlier, we're at the decision point. Price came down, went up, came down. This is right now where it's going to make its decision if we're going to come up and attack this or roll over and attack this. So right now, I'm watching this pretty good. I really want to see it go up. I really do. I am so tired of all of this just wishing and washing this up and down. Like, give us a direction. And all the market makers are doing are liquidating us. I have a thumbnail for my show that will be forwarded to you after this. But It's basically one of the market makers, just a big old fat dude, just, laughing at everybody, because in here, we're thinking, okay, fine, it breaks this level, we're going to go up. We break the level, we come back down into this range. Then we break out again. All right, moon mission, let's go. Boom, wrecks everybody.
Right.
Okay, we're going to start going down now because we broke this level, but really we need to wait for these levels. And if people start going short for whatever reason, which I wouldn't see why they would, but just in case they did, they were trying to maybe catch the top-ish area, and then boom, they get wrecked again. And then same thing over here, like here we kind of knew that, and it's really easy, man. I see so many videos. It's so easy, not financial advice, but it's so easy for people to say, yeah, guys, this was so easy to see. You know, y'all didn't see this, join my group. Yes, this is easy to see. However, what they're not including is the small little variable that changes everything. Right now, we're at all-time highs. FOMO is extremely high. Could we break this level? Because this is the level that we really need to watch. Could we break this level and enter a short and, you know, brag about it and post it on X and everything else and say that you're the greatest trader? Sure, of course. However, because we're at all-time highs, what's to say that the price, and again, we never know what's going to happen in the moment, but it's really easy to say, and especially all these fake mentors, look at this, guys. This is when you short because we went down. But what if we would have done this number and then this number and then another all-time high? Well, everybody gets stopped out and they're not bragging. So this right here, like, nobody knows what's going to happen. And this is why we trade level by level. For me personally, I did not short, even though I was letting everybody know, you know, this is the level we need to watch. But if it comes down, I'm not shorting because we are at all-time highs. This is extremely bullish. Who knows how high we can go? If we start doing lower lows, lower highs, then, you know, we can start shorting. And we eventually did. But it's one of the things that I see is just all these people that are geniuses because, well, they call it, it's like, yeah, man. But the variable that I put in there is, for me, the most important one, all-time high. You know, like, how many times have we been, like last time we were doing all-time highs, where we had an all-time high, then the next day we had another all-time high, then the next day we had the all-time high like 2 times, and then it come down. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the variable that needs to be in place versus after the fact. After the fact, man, this stuff's easy. Like, everybody's a replay millionaire. But right now it's just going up and down, and it looks like it's going to break to the downside. Perfect example. Boom, you missed the move. Oh no, you're going to FOMO into the shorts and wreck city. This is, it's right now it's difficult, you know. So what we're doing, we're treating our trades like scalps. You know, hopefully within the, or an intraday trade, hopefully within the day we can, you know, make some money, but our goal is a little bit higher. And then if it starts going the way we want it to go, then we just let it run for the next day or two. But right now, I think the price might go up and break this level. But again, if we break this, like, we could start looking for shorts. And I have a lot of shorts that I'm looking at right now. But because what we could do is come for this part right here and then come for this part right here. So roughly around 101. And gotcha. The question I get asked a lot is, do I look at the CME gaps? No, I don't. Because the reason I don't look at the CME gaps, let's just say we had a CME gap right here. I don't know where one's at. I think like at 91 or so. I don't know. But let's just say we had a CME gap right here. The price cannot go here unless it breaks this level, unless it breaks this level, unless it breaks this level, unless it breaks. You get the point? Like, it cannot come down here. So for me to say, oh, this is an area of interest, yes, definitely, for sure. But I'm not worried about this. I'm worried about my level. And same thing with this level. I'm worried about this level, this level. So price, if it breaks this, okay, this is the next one, next one, next one. Oh, since we're getting closer, it looks like we're coming down for here. But for me, I don't worry about this. I don't worry about CME gaps on the upside, the downside, liquidity to the downside, to the upside, level by level, because it can't go to a certain area without breaking a level. So that's what I do.
It makes complete sense to me. And I like the fact that you're saying, like, scalping. You're thinking about it like scalping right now, because to me, this whole market, and I mean, it's kind of what you're saying, is being completely manipulated. And I love that thumbnail, by the way, on your upcoming stream. That was great. I saw that. I started laughing. These guys are just manipulating this market like it's their day job. Well, I guess it is their day job. Just grabbing all that liquidity wherever they can. So if you're not scalping, or again, in my opinion, you know, dollar cost averaging and then just kind of like sitting there and like, who cares? But I'm done. It's in the wallet. That's that. I think you're going to get wrecked. My opinion, again, not financial advice like it says down there, but so Joe, you're all over it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I've actually started hearing other YouTubers saying the same thing as far as, it's showing one direction. It starts looking good. I mean, you can see here, I mean, we're doing higher lows, and, we need to break this level up here. It's doing good, and then, okay, let's go. And then, boom, dump again. So it's very difficult trading. So the very first thing, like move, and that's one thing that we do in our group especially, is move up our stop loss whenever we get a chance. Whenever it's going to make it a little less risk. We're moving up our stop loss, and then hopefully to break even, and then in profit, and then of course, if we get a nice run up. So here's a huge tip, guys. If let's say your target's up here, and you're moving up your stop loss, and all of a sudden your token starts just shooting up to the moon, and don't wait for it to hit your target. Take some profit right now, because more than likely, not financial advice, but more than likely it's going to come straight back down, and then who knows, now your stop loss might get hit. And that's what I'm doing in the group. Like, I'm always looking at these charts, so when I see a nice run up and we're in the token, take profits right now, guys. Move up your stop loss here, and just so we can get some money, because that's the mentality that we have to have now, because it's not like how it was before. And I have a song. I have a few songs that refer to the latest song that I have. Is basically adapting to the market. We have to be like water. If we're in a cup or a bowl or a pitcher, like, we have to adapt. So same thing with trading in the market. You can't be one strategy and that's it. It has to be this strategy until it doesn't work. Then you switch it up and you do this strategy and this strategy. So that's what I do. That's what I teach on my show. And then, of course, after this, for everybody who's on X, come over here to YouTube. Make sure to smash the like. We're going to be forwarded to my channel, and I literally show you how to trade in the most simplistic way, without all these abbreviations. I have a song about abbreviations too, but all these people make all these abbreviations just to. It's the same wheel, but they're just trying to put a sticker on it or a bell or a whistle. It's ridiculous. But so if y'all are interested in that, come check me out, and we'll get you squared away.
Yeah, we're heading straight over there again. Like Joe just said, if you're on YouTube, just sit tight. We're going to take you right on over there. If you're on X, which we have quite a few people on X has been on fire lately. And you know what? I appreciate everybody there on X. I really, really do. It's been awesome. But I can't forward you from X. So if you want to get forwarded automatically, come on over to YouTube and smash that like button when you get here. All right, we're gonna move on. Let's see. What do we got to talk about? We're going to be talking about the Genius Act. We're going to be talking about Coinbase. We're going to be talking about Tron. So sit tight. And if you're watching this on the replay, there'll be links, timestamps in the description where you can just go to listen to what you want. I hope you listen to the whole thing, but just in case, you never know. All right. So let's get to it. The first thing that I want to talk about in that whole list right here is the Genius Act. Now, first major, using my air quotes there, piece of crypto related legislation. And we're going to break into a couple of things that I want to highlight with regard to this. But yesterday, as you can see here, they passed the Genius Act passed through the Senate at a vote of 68-30. So that was pretty significant. And their subtitle here, I think, is telling, because that was out without amendments to address Donald Trump's connections to World Liberty Financial. If you remember correctly, it was last month where it couldn't even get out of a closure vote because Donald Trump and his USD1 thing going on with World Liberty Financial. So let's hope that that still doesn't become an issue as we move forward. Anyway, in a Tuesday vote right here, 68-30, majority U.S. Senate chose to pass the Genius Act roughly 6 weeks after Senator Haggerty introduced the legislation. And it says, with this bill, the United States is one step closer to becoming a global leader in crypto, Haggerty said from the Senate floor. Voting, he added, Once the Genius Act is law, businesses of all sizes and Americans across the country will be able to settle payments nearly instantaneously rather than waiting for days or sometimes weeks, which, I mean, we all use this system and it sucks. Let's just be completely honest. He right here, it's the Genius Act initially failed a closure vote in May due to the Democratic opposition against Donald Trump's connection to the cryptocurrency industry and the Trump family's World Liberty Financial. And again, USD1. There was a whole bunch USD1 on a recent episode of HODL the Line. BC and I were talking about it, where it's the 7th largest stable coin by market cap already. I mean, and it's basically, as stable coins go, it's about as new as it gets. Let's just be honest. Anyway, and basically right here, it's sorry about that. It's unclear whether the stablecoin legislation will have enough support to pass the House, where Republicans only have a slim majority. And so again, they've got to send it over there. There's going to be like language changing and all that kind of stuff that goes on as part of the process. But it is going to be a much closer vote in the House. Joe, any thoughts you want to toss in on this? And then I'm going to look over like the kind of breakdown of it here in a second. Anything you want
just
to add?
Just happy to see that stuff is going in the government as far as crypto goes. Just real happy about that.
Yep. No, I agree. It's a move in the right direction. Although it some things about it do concern me, and let's break that down. Piper started talking about some of this on his show earlier today. I was reading through this breakdown, and I love the fact that this is the one where the link is not in the description, because I got this breakdown after I had set up the stream. So you know what, I'm going to put it in right now so everyone can have access to it on your own. There it is. It's now in the live chat. Go ahead and check that out on your own. But basically right here, there's a couple of points I'm going to hit. The rest you can check out on your own. Who can issue stable coins? And right here, right in the top line, permitted payment stablecoin issuers. So already the government is going to be like, yeah, whoever we say is going to be who can do what we say, right, is what comes down to it. Now there's a couple other pieces here. And now I want to hit on the reserves. 1-for-1 backing in the Federal Reserve balances, cash, demand deposits, or treasury instruments, which I guess really shouldn't be a surprise. That's what a lot of these stablecoin issuers are doing, using U.S. treasuries to help back it 1-to-1. And then I'm interested in this wording right here. Rehypothecation is generally banned. Well, why is it generally banned? Why isn't it just banned? Rehypothecation is literally the problem with the current financial and banking system. What do I know, right? Again, old guy, interwebs. What the holy hell do I know? But anyway, the other piece I wanted to point out here was the custody piece. So you can see right here, reserves private keys must be held, but excuse me, by an FDIC or NCUA, which is the National Credit Union Association bank, and OCC chartered trust bank. So basically, it opens up for any of these banks that are in that kind of under those charters. But where we have like, my concern is, will there be room for something like Custodia Bank, which Full Reserve Bank, you know, who is still fighting for a charter under the FDIC? Again, what do I know? Maybe I'm just overthinking things here a little bit. But then there's this piece. Issuers and custodians must be able to freeze tokens on lawful orders. That's the first piece. We already seen Circle being able to do that, being willing to do that. And for those, Circle IPO'd now, I think the fact that there are going to be stablecoin issuers that are not going to be willing to do this, that are not going to want to be listening to what the US has got to say when they're like, freeze that wallet. They're going to be kind of shut out of this system and in favor of things like Circle, which is probably why Circle is kind of going bullish right now with the price action. Piper was just talking about it. And then one last piece, and then Joe, we can hammer out a little bit of conversation if you want to about this. In that same box, the Treasury may block non-compliant foreign stablecoins. Well, of course they may. And it's not going to be non-compliant. That non-compliant, that's in there just to be looking compliant. For lack of better phrase, it's the foreign stablecoin issuers. They're going to want to just block it out and keep it US centric, in my opinion. Any thoughts about the highlights I just went on? I know I didn't touch on everything there, Joe, but I those are the pieces that concern me the most, I guess.
Right.
Any thoughts about that?
Just like anything when it comes to the government and the ability to freeze, hold, postpone anything. I mean, because that's your money, that's your livelihood. And if they could do it at any moment for whatever reason, whether it's justified or unjustified, it's scary. So just like anything else, like have your money in multiple places, whether it's gold, silver, a safe in your house, different banks if you use banks, but different crypto exchanges, different whatever wallets. But that's probably just the safest bet.
Facts right there. I want to just catch up on the chat a little bit. I marked over, obviously, Automatic Beats is in the house. Appreciate Automatic Beats here as always. Techman saying just buy the dumps. This is from when Joe was talking about the charts. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're going to do, and right here, if you're going to do something like, long-term hodling, well, boom, there it is right there. And Kyle Fields in the house. Appreciate you being here, Kyle. Thank you very much. All right, now that we caught up on the chat, let's we'll kind of move on a little bit. We're making good time today, Joe. I don't know, we obviously aren't getting off track too much today.
Yeah, last week was crazy. It's like, story time. Like, Joe, that's story time inside the story time. I know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's true. Sometimes we go down rabbit holes, man. I just and I don't mind usually, to be honest with you. To me, it makes for a more interesting show. But we're pretty much on track here at this point, so feel free to go ahead and get us off track. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's get on to the next thing, and we're gonna go into an article about this in a minute. But Tron, okay, I'll give my disclaimer / 2 cents about Tron. In general, I am no fan of Tron. Never have been.
Same.
Don't like Justin Sun. Yeah, all that's out there. However, do I use Tron? Of course I do. Because you want to know what? Even if I don't like it, if it does what it's supposed to do, the way it's supposed to do it, as inexpensively or more inexpensively than just about anywhere else, then winner chicken dinner, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use Tron. And I do use it a lot of times when I'm trying to move USDT, because it is literally the cheapest way to do it. It just is. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go to Ethereum, even when they're having a good gas fee day, and be moving USDT on ETH. It just is not worth the aggravation. So yeah, Tron definitely. And let's be honest, I've talked about it here and on other streams many a time. Tron is how a lot of these countries who are, I guess, considered the third world countries who want to get their hands on the US dollar, that's how they do it. They use USDT and they do it on Tron because it's so inexpensive to move it that way. So again, you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. And there it is. But now the reason I kind of wanted to go over this was because now we're talking about Tron coming to Wall Street here. And we're going to read through a little bit of this because there's so many different pieces on this that I kind of wanted to touch on. So I appreciate you all bearing with me with regard to this. And I'll give you obviously my 2 cents, and hopefully Joe will throw in his 2 cents at the end there, or in between. Joe, just tell me to shut up and it's all good. Now they're talking about right here using Tron as collateral. And okay, before I start reading into that, next Monday night on HODL Line, we're going to be, BC, myself, and Crypto Bedell are going to be looking into the video that came out, the AMA that Charles Hoskinson did, talking about potentially putting Bitcoin as a reserve asset for I have some concerns about that, feelings about that. We're trying to get a guest to come on to talk about that. So we'll see, but be there for that, because to me, that plays into something like this, where you're now looking at using an altcoin as potential collateral in this kind of situation. So let me just kind of, again, I don't want to linger here too much. Justin Sun's Tron is about to challenge what Wall Street considers a legitimate corporate asset. And if it fails under pressure, the fallout could ripple beyond the company itself. That's true. That is true. Because think about how many of these other ETF filings are sitting there on the way, like Tron. Oh my God. See, I got Tron on the brain. Solana, and so on and so forth. Again, not a fan of that, but let's not get me down the Solana road. Anyway, on June 16th, the SRM Entertainment announced it would rebrand itself as Tron Inc. and adopt a treasury strategy centered around TRX, so around Tron, which is obviously the native token on the Tron blockchain. The move, widely defined as a reverse merger, again, beyond what we're going to get into right here. So again, links are here. Go ahead, check that out on your own. Backed by a $100 million private investment, potentially raising another $210 million. That's a mind-boggling in and of itself right there. But Tron strategy puts TRX to the test as a corporate reserve asset. And they talk about Bitcoin because what is everybody using? Bitcoin as corporate reserve or treasury reserve assets. Now, of course, this is accurate, because using Tron as a reserve asset, because let's be honest, the market cap of Tron just a whole lot smaller, right, than Bitcoin itself, puts it in like the proverbial hot seat and could potentially play to like just bad repercussions here. But now companies, and it goes into, are using other assets like Ether, Solana, XRP, etc. And much like I just mentioned with the ETFs. But the other piece I wanted to hit on here is right below this. As soon as I can find it, well, here it is. There was rumors going around when this news first came out about Eric Trump and the Trump family connection to this whole thing. So right here, I just want to go through this. Eric Trump denies position in the new Tron company, which is what was kind of going around initially. Oh, they're going to support this because, hey, Eric Trump gets a seat on the board. What surprised many market watchers about Tron's public listing plan was the reported involvement of Eric Trump. Eric Trump has since denied any public involvement with Sun's new venture. However, he does not have a connection. Have a connection with Dominary Securities, the broker-dealer that is serving as exclusive placement agent for this particular deal. So the bottom line is there potentially some back channel fugazi things going on with this whole thing?
It is Justin Sun.
Yeah, exactly. Between the Justin Sun connection, which again, no fan of Justin Sun, right from the get-go when he set it up Tron. Do you remember? It was copy and paste code. It was copy and paste white papers. It was again, we're talking what in crypto years is ancient history, but it's still there, right, Joe?
Right.
And now you're talking about the potential of Trump involvement, which again plays to what we were talking about earlier with like why they lawmakers would be concerned about stuff like the Genius Act and World Liberty Financial. What do you think about Tron as a reserve asset, Joe?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you have to. I mean, if you have like 50 reserve assets, well, then you kind of reduce the strength, I guess, of reserved assets. But if you have like one, would be great. But just to kind of diversify, if you had 5, 10, okay. But if you're gonna just, oh, you're a reserved asset and you're a reserved asset, and then that's no, in my opinion.
No, that's a valid opinion, in my opinion. That it just, I mean, seriously though, and okay, I get it. Maybe you want to have multiple potential reserve assets that you might want to consider, but I don't know that Tron would be on that list. Just again, I get it. The blockchain, like I said, I use it. It does what it's supposed to do with minimal fees. I understand, but
my question is, how does Trump know Justin Sun? How does he know him enough to have him help him or be part of his crypto cabinet per se? Like how does that even happen?
well,
And if he was referred maybe by his son or something because he's crypto, like don't they know like Justin Sun's history? And then to bring him on board, I mean, it just looks shady. In hindsight, from this point, it kind of looks shady.
Okay, here's our rabbit hole, Joe.
And then the Trump coin. So I mean,
well, you just hit it on the head.
From?
You just hit it on the head, Joe. Justin, excuse me, Justin Sun was at that dinner that Trump held for all the top Trump coin holders. So even if he wasn't, hey, Dad, look at this guy. In that scenario, he was obviously there because he was a top holder. He was having dinner with Trump, basically, right?
Right.
And to your point, it's like, listen, fugazi things, Trump coin, Solana. I'm just going to leave that there. I mean, put that together. That's why you've got Solana with ETF filings. That's why you've got, the positivity from this administration with regard to Solana. And so, to your point, at this, obviously Justin Sun did what he had to do, if nothing else. Again, I'm operating completely on just what we've seen and not what we don't know might be happening in back channels. But just the fact that he made sure he was in the room to have dinner with Trump to get a potential seat at the table.
Right.
There you go. I no pun intended with the seat at the table there, but you get my point. You get my point. See, guys, it didn't take long, and here we go. We're down, we're down the rabbit hole, but that's okay. We're still making great time. And listen, if you haven't already done it, make sure you're smacking up that like button. Appreciate that, and share it out. We're trying to grow the channels, and we're trying to educate people with regard to cryptocurrency, because as you know, crap is wrong in our economy, and we're about to crease $37 trillion in debt here in this country, and that is not going to end well. So people need to find other ways. That's all I'm going to say. Find some other ways. So please smash up that like button. Appreciate it. And don't forget, we're heading over to Joe's stream right after here. If you're on YouTube, you're good to go. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. If you are on X, thank you for being here, because I see more people even just dropped in on X. That's awesome. Appreciate it. But you're going to have to go search out Joe's stream. You'll be able to see him on X because he's always there. I'm saying that, but I should have asked you. You are broadcasting on X too today, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's on X, YouTube. Yeah.
Were you doing Twitch at one point?
Well, yeah. So now I have a restream where it goes YouTube, Twitch, and X.
Nice. All right. Well, like I said, if you're on X, you're gonna have to go find them. So watch for that. But you could make it simple on yourself. Just come on over, smack the like button up, and sit and enjoy the ride. All right, let's keep going. So I've always been confused about all these announcements about Truth Social's filings for, in this case, it's talking about a dual Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. This isn't the first filing from Truth Social, which is the Trump family's social media platform for those who don't know. But like, how does a social media platform have an ETF? I mean, is that a commonplace thing? If it is, please, if I'm wrong and it is a commonplace thing, somebody in the chat, enlighten me. I won't take it personal because, again, old guy, stupid guy. I mean, keep it simple, stupid, you know? But like when I see this, it just screams manipulation to me. Just, man, I don't know, Joe. I mean, well, first off, Joe, am I wrong? I mean, do you know anything? Like,
no, I mean, if that was the case, then, you know, X could be doing filings for Facebook and just TikTok, just anybody. Shoot me, I can. I'm gonna file for, you know, but I think what he's doing, he's got money. We'll just put it that way. He's got money, but I think what he's doing is securing residual money. So after he's done with the presidency, even though he's got money, he doesn't work. Generations of his doesn't need to worry about money. But if he were to do like one of these ETFs where they have to go to him for the ETFs, and you know, maybe his True Social gets like really, really big, then I mean, it's just generational money every month coming in.
Yeah, so. No, facts. And, you know, couple that, like you're just saying, like World Liberty Financial and all this other stuff that they got going, which again, hey, whatever. I'm not saying they shouldn't, they like World Liberty Financial, they shouldn't, like, if that's your thing, go do your thing. But to me, this, again, social media company,
right?
That, I don't know. It seems like a different level of manipulation to me. That's
I agree.
My humble opinion. All right, let's get on to the next thing, because there you go. I can already feel my blood pressure. Here we go. Anyway, all right. So we all know that there's a lot of regulation going on in Europe, MiCA in particular, that they mention it right here. And again, you can go ahead and look that up on your own. I put links in the description, so go ahead and do that. But here we go, where Coinbase and Gemini are reportedly set to secure MiCA licenses over there in the EU. So that would basically give them the ability to function in their crypto capacities over there in Europe. And it says right here, Europe's crypto market is set to hit about 26 billion in 2025. And I mean, they're pretty stingy from what I hear about issuing these licenses. So the fact that you got two of the biggest crypto exchanges in the United States now heading over to Europe and potentially getting licensing over there and being able to kind of function over there, I think is going to be huge for them. Definitely grow their footprint, if you would, across the world. Any thoughts or anything you want to add in with regard to that, Joe?
Nope, I agree with you.
Okay, I've got one last piece of Coinbase news. Let's share that right here. And this kind of surprised me a little bit, but kind of excited me at the same time. Coinbase users have now borrowed $400 million in USDC, so at approximately 5% rates in just a few months since that service launched with Coinbase. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I cut that off. Feedback has been strong, with one recent story of someone who would have otherwise sold their BTC to fund a home improvement project, but was now able to borrow against that instead of selling it and then staying invested and being able to just pay off that loan that they've collateralized on their own. And here are the figures. Here's the graph. I mean, that's a lot in a short period of time like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I don't know that I like it with Coinbase, but I like the fact that you can borrow against your crypto. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to lose your positions unless, of course, you don't pay it back or whatever. But any thoughts about this, Joe? I mean, this is a huge number. Huge number.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I opened my Coinbase app yesterday, and I mean, just screams at you, where you can borrow against Bitcoin. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I could, I got $14 in Bitcoin. Maybe I could not. But no, to me, it's just great. Instead of selling your Bitcoin to get money, to use the money, and then now it's gone. Well, here you can just borrow, and have your Bitcoin as collateral. And man, that's going to entice you and encourage you and motivate you to pay it back, because you want that Bitcoin, because you know what Bitcoin could do. And then it helps you in the meantime. So no, I love it. I love it. Now, the thing that I don't like is Coinbase does not have a customer service. It says customer service, but if you click on it, it'll take you to another thing or whatever. And if you're lucky enough, you'll find a phone number. You call the phone number. The phone number says check the website, and then so there's literally no help at all on Coinbase. The reason I know this is because I tried putting Coinbase on my new phone, but it was telling me that because my old phone, it needed to be updated, but the update wouldn't do something. I forgot what it was, but it couldn't be updated. So then I had to put on my new phone, download the app, and then try to update it, but I couldn't use the same login because it wasn't from the original phone. So I'm like hours and hours in circles and circles. And so right now I'm so lucky that my old phone, it still works. But when it doesn't,
thank goodness.
What's going to happen to my money? I don't know. So
right, man, not good. You're right about the customer service, and that's part of why I say I like the idea about doing this. But
when you said that
Coinbase
customer service,
Coinbase, not so much. But then again, people would probably point out to me that, Celsius did the same thing, and look at Celsius. Right. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I get it, but it's like, I don't know. Again, I like the idea because, listen, I had to sell, and I'm sure this isn't just a me story here, Bitcoin and other crypto assets to take care of like financial things I had to pay. Just had to do it, right?
And it hurts.
Yes, it to this day it still stings me, because I think that was like $3,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it's like, or $6,000, $7,000 Bitcoin. It's like, man, think about that today. That's insanity. So so I wish that existed back in the day. I really do. I wish it existed long ago, but it's here now for those who may want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I'm the same too, where there was a time, I had to sell, and it was down like 80%. This is when I first moved over here to Georgia. It was down 80%, and I needed stuff for the yard. I needed, just regular moving type stuff, and it's like, man, I don't want to sell it because that's 80% down. I know it's going to come back up. It has to come up. It has to. And so I sold it, and it hurt. It hurt so bad. And then, sure enough, like a year or two later, They all came back, from where I bought it the last time. And I was like, man, but that's one of the biggest things too. Like you can with this is very helpful, and especially if you want to do like home improvements and everything else. Like, sure, you make payments, but I'm very grateful for it, and hopefully one day I'll be using it. So
and it helps you in the sense of like if you are okay. I again speak for myself. In investments, crypto heavy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in that position, then it makes sense that you don't necessarily, or you're not necessarily always able to function with the traditional finance system, in the traditional banking system, because, or maybe you're doing this, maybe this is your job. Well, those of us who run a business know that the last person to get paid is this guy. So, and it's not always consistent in the way of money making. So, the TradFi system, the banking system, looking at that kind of information, financial information, to try and give you a loan, let's say for a new car or home improvements, like you were just saying, or something like that. Guess what? That's going to be rejected. That's what's going to happen with that. But we're here, again, part of why I like this particular option, because you know what? If you are crypto heavy, you take that, you borrow against it, and you're going to get it back unless you're a complete idiot and don't pay your loan.
Right.
You're getting it back. And you don't even need to deal with TradFi beyond maybe moving your money into fiat to be able to pay for whatever it is you're looking to pay for. I don't know. Again, another tangent and down the rabbit hole. But that's basically what we got for today, folks. We're running a little ahead of schedule. Joe, I don't know. Would you want to head over to your stream, get set up, and I'll update everybody as to what I got coming over the next few days? We'll start a little early for you. Is that good or no? You tell me.
No, that's perfect for me. That way I get the time to reboot my computer.
Yes.
So that'll work. But I just want to thank everybody who's watching on X. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow CCM, because there's not a lot of channels out there that give good, honest advice without trying to sell you something, because everybody wants to sell you something. But on this channel, no selling, no nothing. If you want, please, click on the links. If there's any kind of products that we recommend, please click on the links, because it helps support the channel. And again, we're not in it to get rich off of you. We're truly good people here in the crypto space, which is very hard to find. And, by doing so, you're just going to help, more people see this. And by smashing the like, leaving comments. And I do want to say, Keith, real quick before I go, I'm loving the senior. And to me, senior, it's kind of like I would say more so like just new traders, because all these senior things that you're saying on there, it's like, man, like that would help me out as a new trader. But I'm loving that series. I'm loving the series you're putting out every Sunday, because, man, I really wish I would have found somebody like you when I first started, because you lay out pretty much what to expect, and you're not trying to sell me, Lambos and fancy jets and women and also the good stuff. That idea of that, like you're showing the reality of this. You're talking about the risk management. You have a lot of great guests on. So I just want to say thanks, man. Like, thank you for doing that. It's a lot of hard work, and especially the editing. Man. Anybody who is here who has done video editing, whether you have a YouTube channel or not, how many times you have to click out the ums and the and the, you just repeated the same thing again. And now instead of, having it this long, maybe you can shorten it a little bit more. As like, oh, I didn't need this part. It's rough. It really is. And then
it takes a lot of time.
It does. So, for everybody who's watching, definitely just show the gratitude of the video for one, by smashing every single video, the like, and leave a comment. Hey, great job, or hey, I got a question on this, or I like what you said about this, because that truly helps out, because now YouTube or wherever you're watching it will push it out to other people who might not have seen this, and then now they're hopefully they can get the same content as you're getting. But with that being said, I got to get ready to start my content. If you're on X, jump on over to YouTube, smash the like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Then you're going to be automatically redirected to my channel, where I literally show you how to trade in the most simplistic way. And it's somewhere where if you already know how to trade, this might open your eyes to different concepts. If you don't know how to trade, man, this, in my opinion, is worth more than gold. It's worth more than finding a pot of gold, because this stuff that I'm showing you, it's very easy, or it's not as difficult to understand. I hate saying the word easy, but it's not as difficult to understand. And not only that, but you can also share it with your spouse or your coworkers or whoever. It's very teachable the way I mentor. So with that being said, guys, I do thank you very much. If you haven't already, smash the like, and we will see you in a few minutes.
Thanks for being here, Joe. As always, I'll see you in a couple of minutes, brother.
All right. See ya.
All right. So Joe said a lot of great things there, and I really appreciate that. And he's right. I do try to put out a lot of great free information, because I remember when I first got into this space going on 8 years ago now, it was difficult. Let's just put it that way, to find good information to teach you about the space and to get you in the right mindset to operate here in the space. So it was really, it's worthy of doing it. And thanks for Joe Dillon. I appreciate that. Joe's awesome. And like I said, we're going to be heading over there in a couple of minutes to his stream. But I do want to give you just a quick breakdown as to what's going on over the next week or so here on this channel. So Joe mentioned my senior series, basically senior citizens, so boomers, basically, biggest growing demographic in the cryptocurrency space, believe it or not. And for a lot of reasons, none of which I'm going to go over right now, but it's like anything else. Seniors and technology are generally not so compatible. So I've tried to put together a kind of slow talking, general information series where I literally sit out in the yard. I'm talking about a specific topic and relating it to those who are 55 plus, looking to get into the cryptocurrency space for the first time. It comes out every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm trying to keep it simple, but I'm also trying to put some resource material in each one. I try to keep them to between 5 and 10 minutes in length, because again, it's not like I'm looking to train you or train a senior in that particular moment or that particular video. But what I am trying to do is start to change the mindset, trying to help you get that paradigm shift and maybe feel like, hey, I can potentially do this and succeed here. So that's the next one is coming this Saturday at 11 a.m. On Friday, though, 7 p.m. Eastern time, every Friday night, we do Crypto on the Rocks. Think a bunch of buddies sitting around a campfire, just shooting the crap. Yes, we try to keep it around something crypto related, but the conversation pretty much goes wherever. And the guests vary all the time, although we do have some pretty consistent stables coming in every week, Joe included, Crypto Bedell, and Shuby for sure. BC Port Corp likes to come in. Daniel Diaz likes to come in once in a while. So you never know who's going to be there. But Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto on the Rocks. Grab your drink and come and support the channel and just relax and have some good casual conversation. Again, mostly related around crypto, but who knows? And then Joe also mentioned my educational series. I believe that there's going to be a lot more people coming into cryptocurrency as the economy just continues to degrade. And I, again, wish that I had all that great information at my fingertips when I got into the space. And it just ain't happening, man. It's even now, a lot of people want you to pay for a course or whatever. And it's mostly, okay, go to Coinbase, sign up for this, blah, blah, blah. I've taken a different tact, and I do bring in a lot of people to talk about things, starting everything from mindset to risk management. And we're still going. So every Sunday night, right after Billy Goat Tales, 7 p.m. Eastern time, I drop a new video. Watch for this week. It's going to be Crypto Billy and Jimmy Jim, and they're going to be talking a little bit about personal finance strategies. So watch for that. Okay, that's going to do it. Appreciate everybody being here. Again, if you're on X, you're going to have to go find Joe's stream on your own. If you're here on YouTube, sit tight, and we are going to head out of here, and we are going to go raid Joe's stream. When you get there, make sure you're putting in CCM raid into the chat. All right, we're out. Sit tight, and I'm going to get you right over to Joe's stream. Thanks again for being here, folks.